Hello, namaste everyone. I hope you guys have been well and are doing great. Today's video is going to be about Mercury's transit in the sign of Leo, but this particular video is actually about the conjunction of Mercury with Ketu in the sign of Leo. So Mercury, of course, comes in the sign of Leo a couple of times, but this time it is coming and joining hands with Ketu. So that's the focus for this video. Mercury has transited on 30th of August 2025, is going to be conjunct with Ketu till 15th of September 2025. So let's talk about what this combination can do and what's the meaning of this combination. But before that, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get regular updates. Also, if you would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link in the description box, www.anmollastrology.com. Under the reading and unique reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. And also, you can sign up for online course under the courses option. Okay, for those who have already signed up, let me tell you, I've put in some additional videos as additional content on each and every ascendant, and also new information on retrograde planets. So do check it out. Okay, so let's get started. So whenever Mercury comes and join hands with Ketu, what could be the result? So first, understand the meaning of this conjunction. Mercury is the natural lord of the third and the sixth house. It is the lord of your communication efforts, your understanding, skills, valor, courage, and your relationship with the siblings. Third house is also your, it's not like it's your youthfulness. Because of the sign of Gemini, it's actually how youthful you are, or what your interests are, what do you feel interested in, or what your skills are more aligned to, what do you like to get knowledge, related to which subject. That is also the third house, right? So, and sixth house is about one's conflicts, one's routine, one's health, nutrition, your, circle, your workspace, your colleagues, your charity nature, your service oriented nature, your debts. Everything is the sixth house. So Mercury naturally actually represents both of these areas. And in itself, Mercury is the prince. Mercury is the unstable planet, or you can say the indecisive planet, which makes you hop from one choice to another. And Mercury is a planet which is, all about you being, how your decisions are. How do you take a decision? How do you think? How do you understand? How comfortable you are adapting certain things. That is Mercury. So your adaptability, your adjustment, your communication, and your way of expression, it's all Mercury. So when Ketu conjoins this Mercury, the lord of your third and the lord of your sixth house, what could it mean? First of all, you are going to experience the biggest transformation in the way you communicate, the way you interact with others, the way you handle your conflicts and disputes. Mercury is the youthful planet. It's about it's not about your optimism, but it's about how freely do you express. When Ketu comes with Mercury, you become overly critical of oneself. You become overly critical of your own thoughts. So, this can make a person too cautious and too conscious of their own speech, of their own thoughts, and of the surroundings as well. Because Mercury is observance, right? How your power to observe, your power to give attention to details. Now Ketu is being there. Remember, Ketu is not just about detachment. Detachment always comes when there is a strong attachment. So when there will be a strong attachment, only then the detachment comes in. Ketu is embarrassment, a situation which might make you feel a pinch on your heart, a pinch, or maybe on your ego or on your heart, on your emotions. When Mercury gets conjunct with Ketu, a person becomes over analytical of everything. Person becomes blunt and they get pinched because of their communication. They get overly criticized for their communication, or they become overly critical of their communication and their understanding. These are the individuals who are very, very research oriented. Always these people are the ones to go deep into the knowledge, deep into the technical aspects. So people who are very much into technical research, right? Communication research, like, for example, a person who deals with the parts of a communication device. That is what Mercury Ketu is. Now, let's understand how it is going to react when it is a part of transit. Now, when Mercury and Ketu conjoins in the transit, that means that that area is going to experience some criticalness. That area is going to experience something where a person might feel a sharp cut, a sharp, embarrassment from that area, which can lead to them being overly critical of their self, their choices. So now this Mercury and Ketu is being conjunct in the sign of Leo. Leo is a person's confidence, romantic self, a person's understanding of taking decisions, right? Mercury is the understanding, but Leo is the understanding that leads and forms a decision. So it's the higher self of the third house. It's higher self of Gemini. Fifth house is your confidence. It's your prestige, your respect. It's the house of romance. It's the house of your knowledge, education, right? So when Mercury and Ketu are coming together in the sign of Leo, it can give you wonderful time with your research aspects. If you are a student, you are a person who is struggling with memorizing, who is struggling with education or passing some exam, learning, this could be a time where a certain situation can force you to have your focus and be deeply involved in your education. That will be triggered out of maybe jealousy that my friend might do better than me. So let's just give it all. And also, Mercury Ketu in the sign of Leo is actually a combination of a super intelligent individual. And we know that at the same time, Sun is also there. Till 15th of September, we are also going to have Sun conjoined in the same, zodiac sign. So that makes a Buddha-Aditya Yoga along with Ketu coming in. So just understand how much research and knowledge a person is going to have, how a person is going to be over calculative and analytical and critical of their own self, their own confidence, their own decisions. So very first thing for the students, you will definitely have the good time to learn and to memorize more for your exams. But this is going to lead because of a negative situation. Like, for example, your teacher scolded you so hard, your teacher scolded you in front of everyone and you got embarrassed. And then you were like, I have to clear this exam now. So that is the trigger point which it creates. Because of that, you will feel quite self-conscious. right? And quite self-critical. This can even go the other way. It can make a person feel quite low on self-confidence as well, quite hurt with their confidence as well. It can bring about embarrassment as well. So, which type of the two extremes are you? Which kind of the two extremes are you going to fall into? That depends on your individual chart. But this is the time where you talk less and observe more. Because whenever Ketu comes with Mercury, it gives you karma with your communication. It makes people be overly analytical, critical of your communication, and that is the reason you feel there was that embarrassment. And that always also works with Mercury being into the nakshatras of Ketu. That's why a person has to think, has to reassure what they want to speak, what they should speak. And that's the reason, out of frustration, especially in the fire signs, the communication comes out really, really blunt. So with this Mercury and Ketu combination, we are going to experience confidence issues, self sabotage as well, doubting one's own confidence, doubting one's own worth, and super competitive combination when it comes to one's identity. And for many people, this could lead to identity crisis in understanding what I want to do in life, what I feel I'm good at. So people are going to research, people are going to find out what they are good at, what they are passionate about, what they can do as a part of their career. Because nowadays, everyone is following what they love. There's no more, just 9 to 5 or just straightforward those professions, just the professions that used to be like either you are an IT, you are an engineer, you are a doctor, you are a lawyer. No, now we have diversified education. Now one more thing comes with this on a mundane level, that some new changes or new rules can be introduced in regards of education. Something new, something transformative can happen in terms of education, learning, and communication. Be very mindful of what are you presenting, what are you talking about out there, right? With Mercury and Ketu combination, a person either totally detaches their communication, or they are the ones who are going to talk about deep secrets, deep researched, things, knowledge that they are going to talk about. And that is going to be like quite superficial, quite unbelievable in nature. Like for a person who is talking about spirituality so deep that a common mind could not understand it. That's what Mercury Ketu is about. Okay, so let's just quickly go into the ascendants. I'll just take 1 minute per ascendant so as to cover all of them. And just we are going to focus on this, on Mercury and Ketu conjunction, nothing else. Okay, so please don't write in the comments, oh, you didn't talk about this, you didn't talk about that. Our focus for this video is just the Mercury Ketu combination. Now, this is the Muhurta chart at the point when Mercury enters and comes in the same sign as Ketu. It will have the lowest degrees, it will have the power, right? It will actually try to explore and experience different scenarios. Now, starting from the Capricorn rising. For you guys, Ketu and Mercury and Sun, you have this in the 8th house. You can have a sudden outburst with either your in-laws or something related to your extended family. There can be some secrets that might surface or something that you would require to keep as a deep secret in your life. This time is definitely about a lot of changes, a change that is coming within you, that you are feeling very uneasy. You want to spit something out. You want to keep, get something out of your mind, right? And especially there can be very critical relationship with the spouse's family for some while. Even your spouse can be critical of his or her earnings, spendings, money, income, right? But this while you're going to get ideas of investments, you're going to research about certain ideas of investments, and you would definitely not indulge so much into romantic things, because this Ketu is detaching you from that, fifth house matters, that Leo presence in your eighth house. This is the time for you to research, accumulate knowledge, understand, and have the understanding of something hidden deeper down there. Okay, so this is the time for you to observe more and speak less. Now, next we have the sign of Aquarius. For Aquarius individuals, Mercury, Ketu, and Sun is in the seventh house. These 15 days are crucial for you with your spouse, with your counterpart, with your relationship partner. There can be a detachment, there can be a breakup, there can be, for some time the communication can also go off, because when Mercury gets conjunct with Ketu, it's no more immaturity. You have to get mature. You have to, your youthfulness, your fickle mindedness, that has to now come to an end, that has to come down now, right? So that is the reason this Mercury, Sun, and Ketu in the seventh house can make you super cautious of your encounter with your spouse. This is also not the best time for you to indulge into any sort of partnership or partnership business, right? Just be very mindful of your communication. Try not to burst out, not to give quite critical reactions, and try to just calm yourself down and associate yourself more with your own personal growth. Right now, next we have the sign of Pisces. For Pisces individuals, this is happening in the sixth house, right? Just a second. So for Pisces individuals, you need to be aware and careful of your competition, especially at your workspace. This is not the time to make enemies. Your obsessive nature or your decisions can land you into conflicts. This is the time to show up, but in a very calculative manner. Show up and, get done with your conflicts, unnecessary enmities, right? But in a very calculative way. Your confidence would definitely be something which is required, but not the overconfidence. Remember that there's a difference. This would also be a time when you will be very highly critical and calculative of your health. Your health doesn't seem very good. You need to take good care of your health, especially your digestive system. And your debts, you would want to get, you'll be calculative, and you would want to have the calculations, run the calculations of your expenses, of your debts, of your anything, any matter related to uh, the numbers. But one thing is there, that your own confidence, your own reactions can land you into disputes, and can bring in very transformative events within your workspace and within your routine life. Okay, so be aware of that. Next, we have the sign of Aries. The Aries individuals have this in the fifth house. You will feel self conscious. You will feel conscious about the amount of knowledge that you have. That's why this is the, and also there's a detachment I see in terms of romance. If you're already married, you can feel detached from the idea of romance with the spouse. If you're unmarried, if you're in a relationship, you might feel detached or experience a breakup situation. This is also a time where you would think about the past as well. And so as to move on from this particular feeling, this particular depression causing situation, you would want to read. You would want to educate yourself with knowledge, mythology, anything which is research oriented, anything that is spiritual in nature. This is also a time where you would feel much at peace while expressing yourself with your creativity and with your creative self expression. You definitely are going to get good ideas when it's about how do how do you do technical research and follow your passion, follow something you're passionate about, some of your hobby. This is a good time of learning or starting to learn something, right? But definitely not the best time with the children, with the kids. With kids as well, you can experience very overcritical communication, being just facing embarrassment from them for some reason, facing embarrassment in love as well, and that is going to change the way you communicate, the way you react towards that area. So a difficult time in love, a difficult time with the children as well. Now next we have the sign of Taurus. For Taurus individuals, this is happening in the fourth house. The health of the mother can experience something, experience a toll. So your mother has to take good care of her health. And this is the time where dwell yourself spiritually. There can be a detachment with not the not just the fourth house matters, but detachment of communication for some reason. You will feel the urge to research on some subject, either it is spiritual in nature or it is technical in nature, but you would find your interest to learn about your ancestors, the mythology, the how the universe was formed, and all these matters. And for some reason, for these 15 days, you would feel to not talk much about your emotions. You would be, I won't say guarded, but you would feel that I don't need to talk about my emotions. There's no need, there's no urge. I am just so done with my emotional expression that now I just don't want to express at all. So it's like you're living in a house, you are just showing your happy self, but internally you're feeling detached, right? And that is specifically with the communication. Okay, so that's there. Now, next we have the sign of Gemini. For Gemini individuals, this is happening in the third house. When Mercury, Sun, Ketu comes into the third house as a part of transit, your your there is some change coming or has already come in terms of your job. You might not feel quite appreciative and quite happy about your job. Somehow your job has changed you and actually pushed you towards going going towards your skills, going towards improvising your knowledge, your skills. So you might decide to take a quick break from the job scenario or to change your job, change your work dynamics. Definitely a lot of hard work, a lot of research is required here. At the same time, your communication can be overly blunt and critical and quite reactive. It's like you're a walking fireball. Anytime anyone comes to you and you'll you know, just burst, right? So that is the scenario here. Be careful of your social presence. Be careful of how what you are writing on social media, how you are, presenting yourself on social media, because you can be highly misunderstood and out of nowhere, anyone can just put on a fight with you for that. So be careful of that, right? This is definitely also a time period where the relationship with a younger sibling can take some distance. There can be some time you are not talking to your younger sibling, or the relationship with a younger sibling is getting on your nerves. So it can be quite reactive, and then the storm is pieced out. Now there's nothing. One storm happened and then it's all shanti, it's all quiet, right? So that could be there. But definitely, if you ask me, this is the time for you to get back with your skills and with your knowledge and get back with your routine. Work on yourself, on your own, you know, body as well. When Mercury and Ketu comes into the fifth house, and that too in Leo, you are going to be super conscious of your appearance and your looks as well. So you're going to work towards that as well. And also the nutrition. Now, the next we have the sign of Cancer. For Cancer individuals, Mercury, Sun, and Ketu is coming into the second house. And this calls for a person being overly critical of their money, their income, their finances. You are going to go into calculations of where your money is going, how much money do you have, and everything about it. The relationship with the family can take some quiet time. Like you might feel communicatively detached from them, right? There could be sudden reactions that you can have for these 15 days. So it's better just to observe more than to speak, because that can, just come out. It's like an emotional outburst, I feel. There can be just sudden lash outs or sudden arguments with people, not just in the family, but out there as well, at your workspace or anywhere, right? But it's a feeling of detachment from the materialistic side and being more attached to the spiritual side, or the side where you do not care about what people are thinking, what they are saying, right? So things of that sort. And also, you'll be researching about your family history and also about your money in investment options, right? There's some dissatisfaction also that I see with the money part for some reason, money or investments part. Now, next we have Leo itself. So Leos are having this transit in the first house in their ascendant. When Mercury and Ketu comes in the ascendant and then Sun is also there, a person is super cautious of their self. They are very skillful, definitely very technically skillful, very creative, extremely creative. But at the same time, they find it really, really hard to take a stand for themselves and for the others as well. They feel confused. So this is a time where you will find your confidence after a lot of confusion. You will find your confidence, and just before this video I was actually watching the reels that about someone. I think her name is Tanya Gulati, I think so. I don't know. I was actually just watching. I've been watching a lot of videos on her, all the time on Snapchat. She's in Big Boss. Just let me see what her name is, because I just searched her name. Tanya Mittal. Tanya Mittal. So she is right now, she's a spiritual storyteller, or something like that. So she is just getting, when I saw this Leo ascendant and Mercury Sun Ketu, I thought of her because she is getting trolled on her communication. She's posting about her house. The news that I saw was that, even the 7 star, she said this, that even the 7 star hotels look cheaper than my home, that she was trying to boast, just mindlessly boasting about her wealth and about her money and fame. That's what Mercury, Sun, and Ketu does in the first house in Leo. That was the example that came into my mind. So you can get trolled for that. At the same time, you're getting the fame, you're getting trolled as well. That is the scenario what it creates. So for Leos, just be careful what you're speaking up, what you're talking about, and how you are taking your communication out. Think to yourself once what you want to communicate, and then do it. But it is preferred to have limited communication, because this Mercury and Ketu will make you feel confused. And you might feel that I am doing everything right, but in the eyes of others, it might be a subject of love. Okay, so that's what is about Leos. But these people, you people are definitely going to feel very self-conscious, and also fearful, for some reason fearful as well, of your life, of your own self. And take good care of your health. Your health needs your attention. At the same time, Saturn is in the 8th house. Okay, next we have the sign of Virgo. So for Virgo individuals, this is happening in the 12th house. Your travel can get delayed. You would have to substitute your travel, or just rethink of your travel for some reason. But this is definitely a time for you to learn, to research, learn new things, and also to learn about spirituality, right? Just don't be very overconfident of your skills and your spiritual self, right? This is your time where unexpected criticism from the others is going to lead you towards spirituality. Your mind will feel active all the time. You might detach, there can be some detachment that you experience in your romantic life. And when I'm talking about romantic, it's romantic and physical life as well. For some reason, you're going to experience problems there. And maybe for these 15 days, you don't feel like getting intimate with your partner, getting intimate with your, wife, something of that sort it creates. And also, this makes you think about your expenses. There can be some mindless or expenses that could come around, some sudden expenses that could come around, right? And that could be either to show off for some reason, or it could even be for the provision basis, right? But it's about the expenditures. It's like that you were just making the expenditures, going on with things, and suddenly you just are like that, oh, my bank account has such a low balance now. Why is it so? Where did the money go? So then, then you start evaluating, then you start calculating the money factors. That is what it is. Definitely a time where mythology and spirituality, or the stories of mythology can help you, you know get better with your peaceful mind. Okay, now next we have the sign of Libra. For a Libra individual, this is happening in the 11th house. This can detach your communication within your social circle. It's a time where you will think that I need a break from people. I need a break because there can be sudden reactions, suddenness in your relationship with others, especially with your friend circle, with your social circle. You somehow will either feel humiliated, or you will feel that, you know, the circle is not fulfilling me. There is something, some hurt that you're going to get from your circle, because of which you're going to just shut down and detach yourself communicative wise from them for some time, right? So that is there. One second. Also, one thing I always say, that whenever we have Ketu in the 11th house, we get recognized, you will get recognized, you will get your materialistic desires only when you desire them the least. It's like unexpected things would happen, unexpected recognition can come your way, right? So, this is the time for you to actually feel more inclined towards yourself with your own thought process. And there's a detachment with the mass public. And you would also feel self-conscious in going out there, being associated in the social circle, even though you might be a person who has been out there all the time. But just for these 15 days, it's like that you want to go into your shell, process everything, and then reach out. And you may also feel very dissatisfied with the amount of recognition that you're getting with your work and also with the money matters. Right now, next we have the sign of Scorpio. For Scorpio individuals, this is happening in the 10th house. You will feel embarrassed or that your communication is being cut within your workspace. You will feel your authority is not being valued within your workspace, because of which you will feel detached from the career. You will feel that you need something to change within your career. This is not the best time to talk to your boss. These 15 days, just avoid your connection, your association with your bosses, because that might not end up well. People are going to try to put you down, criticize you, be over analytical of your work and actions. But you must not respond, because your response would come out massively and can bring about a major transformation within, within your work dynamics. Your colleagues are also, they also don't seem so much supportive right now. Okay, so that's for Scorpio. Now, lastly, we have for the sign of Sagittarius. For Sagittarius individuals, this is happening in the 9th house. This is your time to understand your beliefs, your ethics, your morals. You might feel embarrassed because of your association with a guru, with a teacher, with your with your father, or because of knowledge. This will be a time you would want to research more. You would want to explore the dynamics of the 9th house. The travel can also get delayed. The travel can also, can have some repetition to it, cannot be done once and then you have to restart it, something like that. But definitely this is the time to understand your stand in life. Where do you stand? You might be criticized for your beliefs, for your freedom-oriented nature, for your freeness. So watch out your communication. This is a very spiritual time. And at the same time, this is a time which can make you feel very low with your confidence. And you feeling low with your confidence is the key for you feeling confident finally. Okay, so guys, and also this can detach your communication with your father, with your gurus, right? And this would also give you some sort of tension in regards of your fortune, in regards of your future. For some reason, this came to my mind. Okay, so this was my analysis, guys, about Mercury joining hands with Ketu in the sign of Leo. I hope this gives you good insights. We'll see you with the next video. Bye-bye. Take care.